Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer. And it is a beautiful Friday morning. No, that's wrong. I hear people say, they don't say Happy Friday, it's Friday. I believe, I guess that means
Yay, it's Friday.
Yay, it's Friday. I got it. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the hottest spot in town. This is Sunshine's Corner. This is the place where you can have those difficult conversations, feel comfortable having them. And of course, as you know, we are your community station, your information network. When you want to find out what's going on, when it's going on, how to be a part of it, make sure you tune in right here. Weekday mornings at 9 o'clock. And of course, if you would like to see the show again, turn around. Click it on this afternoon at 6 o'clock. You'll see it again. Now, with the day being Friday, come back tomorrow at 4 o'clock. You can see the show. But today, it is my Sidekick Friday. And, of course, I've got my girl, Keithina.
There you go.
I'm not going to go with
relax.
that. Just relax. Well, you know what? She's always there for me, and we do so many things. There's so many things to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think about this, Keithina.
What?
Because of the fact I'm always so deep Monday through Friday. I like to let our hair down so we can talk about things and laugh about them, but yet get our message across. And there's so much going on in the world today. This is the time, because you know my philosophy is this. If you want to come up with a greater solution, then therefore we as a people need to understand how that we've got to be able to sit down and talk about it so that you can hear my idea, your idea, because when you put all ideas together, you come up with a greater solution.
You do.
I think when you take the I out of the equation and it's us, we make things better. Because if you see, Keithina, what's happening with the world today, in which I say it like this: been there, done that, got the t-shirt, okay? Because of the fact that things that's trying to be held over on us again now, we've already been there. We've done that.
We got the blueprint.
We got the blueprint. We came through and gonna come out on top again. Hello.
Yes.
You know, good morning, Tony. You know, Tony always watch my show and he tells me, he said, I just love the way you just get on with a great big old good morning. Good morning, Tony. I appreciate you. But Keithina, today it is Sidekick Friday. There's so many things that we can talk about, but I like to wrap it up because when I see things and when I hear things, when I read about things, what's going on in the country today that's affecting us right here in Pensacola, it bothers me. Even right there at UWF, what's going on out there, that is, you know, with the fact that who's been appointed and the things that have been said about women. I mean, that breaks me down. I think why go after a woman when, don't let me go there, but.
So, you know, I actually just finished reading the article on the meeting from
yesterday.
And so, it is a, but I go back to it voting. I go back to voting. I will stay in voting. I will stay rooted in voting. The governor picked this person,
handpicked.
3 people who don't live in the area,
handpicked
to be over a university in a local community. And he made some comments about it being a left-wing university.
Of course, we know that's it's not.
And then he picked someone, and he says, and basically in my terms, he's standing 10 toes down on
Thank you. Drop it, going lower than 10 toes. If you said that, I got that, the 10 toes down.
He supports him 1,000%.
Exactly.
No matter his comments, no matter his belief systems and things like that. And so it goes back to what you just said about how we have to be open to everybody's ideas.
Exactly.
You know, God made us all, and so what makes humans different?
That's right. We have different thoughts.
We have
different
ideas, and we know how to respect each other.
Exactly.
We don't fight. We don't crawl. We don't jump. We don't kill. We just listen and respect that.
Exactly.
And so we're just at a time in our community where.
But with that part out there, I think that with that being that university, that really, that was like a gut puncher. When I say that, and there was a lady there yesterday that made a point. Are you telling me you don't want my daughter here? You don't want my kids here? Come on, that's what you're saying to me.
He basically said the one the one that they're really pushing against is Yorner.
His funny name.
Start with a Y. But he basically said women should focus on being better wives.
Oh, he's going back to the day.
And then he made the anti-Semitic Jewish comment.
Thank you.
Right? And so I'm like, why are we still talking about Jewish people like
that? But you see, but that's the mentality.
That's crazy.
Okay, but if you notice, even when you see people in the White House, I mean, come on, man. I mean, where you think they're going back to?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that's the mentality of what I'm saying to you that we have got to overcome.
Yeah.
And as a fact, I don't know for me, and I say I, personal pronoun, what I see is that the fact of it's so much intimidation about the fact that what we bring to the table, that it is so visible.
Yeah.
And you know, I can be a reporter.
Yeah.
And yet report the right thing, but don't make you feel like I'm in with you.
Yeah, that's true. I can report facts.
I can report facts and not what I would.
Not opinion.
Say that one more time.
Not opinion.
Because opinions are just like your elbow. We all got one.
Well,
and I'll say that.
My arm could be chopped.
No, I say that because it is so, just with things like that are happening. Even with the fact that you read about the fact, but even with all the Teslas that were set afire.
Yeah.
Okay, people are not asleep.
Yeah.
People are really becoming aware of the things that they did, which could have been avoided by voting.
Yeah.
And making sure that your vote that you chose was going to the right place and not think just because you're going to do it this way.
So, you know, in my process, in my thought process about voting, you had a person who said, this is my agenda. This is what I'm going to do.
And you had a person that said what? I didn't have an agenda.
But I was going to say, but the person who said, this is my agenda, this is what I'm going to do, and then people still voted. And then when he does the things that he said he was going to do, well, I didn't know he was going to really do it.
He told you.
He told you he was going to do it.
Exactly. Well, you know what? Even when
I didn't know it. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. One more thing. Oh, I didn't know it would affect me.
This is the analogy, Keithina, that I gave to a person that I was in conversation with just a couple of days ago. I said, you thought that he was going to say, no, let me work on Sonshine, but I'm going to skip you. Let me work on Bob, but I'm going to skip Keithina, and I'm going to go ahead and get Bob.
But my question would be, what in this person's behavior, as Maya Angelou says, when somebody show you who they are,
believe in the first time,
that said that they was gonna skip over me.
That's right.
What in that person's behavior in the past has ever said, I'm gonna take and but you wanna know what's crazy? Because a lot of people don't know this, but I believe that those problems are problems.
Yes, they are.
I believe that we as a country need solutions to those problems. I just don't believe this is the way that we should do it.
No, it should not be a dictatorship.
And most people believe that people who don't agree with the way things are being done, that we don't agree that those are problems. We know that those are problems, and we agree that they should be fixed, right?
Well, you said something right there that's powerful. Number one, for those who still are in denial, has got to know that these things are a problem.
But I was just saying, like, they'll say, like, one side don't know that these are problems. We know that these are problems.
Exactly.
We know that these are things that need to be fixed. I agree
150%.
Baseline that these are problems and they need to be fixed.
Most certainly.
I agree with that, but I just don't agree in the method in which you're doing it. As a mother, you know, I have had to learn and change and warp who I am so much. So, you know, I have two kids. One is buck wild, and one.
If you don't leave her alone,
she left all the good stuff for the next person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to.
And then I got another one who's very calm. Sometimes I think he's just too passive, right? So I was like, he was like, Mama, such, and I'm like, you want me to come up there to the school? No, ma'am.
He understands.
Yeah, he said, no, ma'am.
Exactly.
And then the other one, she don't let nothing drop the ball. But as a mother, I have to balance both of those personalities.
I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, so when I'm talking to her, when I'm talking to him, hey, do you think that's a good idea? You think that works?
Balance.
But I know one way doesn't fit
everything.
Yes.
Exactly. And with that being said, that we're having this conversation because today it is a Kickback Friday.
Yeah.
And we want to have a conversation that we can allow you to be a part of it. You can call in at 850-432-7768, or you can text. Again, I believe once we talk about any situation that we can come up with a better solution.
Now, are we going on break? Because I want to talk about you interrupting the men's panel.
Oh!
Look up. Wait a minute, Sunshine.
I couldn't help. Wait a minute. I gotta say, Shanaria saw it, right? Sharia saw it. She saw my face, and I kept going. I know they didn't just say that.
So I was not listening. I don't know if we got time to talk about it.
Yeah, we're not going to break yet, no.
What did they say?
Well, what was said is that.
So first, let's set up the scenario.
Okay.
So we're at an event, and Sonshine is going to be a moderator, and it's not her turn to moderate. She's sitting in the crowd enjoying the show.
Yes.
And it's a panel of men, and they're just having their conversation, their men time, and two black women, right? And I am running around because it's my event I'm organizing. I'm not really paying attention to the panel. I know, but I know it's the men's panel. So no ladies should be talking right now.
I'm sorry. No,
And
not.
I hear, now if you, I say, what? Is that Sonshine on the men's panel?
Well,
So,
what
did they say, Sonshine?
What they were saying is because of, they were painting this picture about women and how it is about a revolving door, that we've got to be, that men got to be this one that's going to show the way, even for the younger people. Wrong answer. Because of the fact, because a woman, even the men were talking about the respect part. Okay?
Of a relationship with a woman and a
With
man?
a woman and a man, yes.
Okay.
And what was said, I disagreed with.
What did they say?
I mean,
I just need to know, because you don't
no,
know.
what was said was that, you know, like, if we gonna portray this, and if they're women, he said, just like with my wife, when he brought up his wife, he said that, well, some women will let this go, and they'll let you keep doing things over and over, which is not right. How a woman will allow that revolving door. And he was putting all the fault on the woman. And I said, no, that's incorrect. And I just had to come to them from another point, because you know what? If you wouldn't sit there and open that door, so if you know you don't mean me no good,
Stay on
out my way.
Leave me alone.
Exactly. That's why I got upset. But I have to voice my opinion. I'm very vocal.
Really?
But ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, it's all good. But the event was great because of the fact that we got so much out that we needed to talk about. And with that, even though it was not my time, I was allowed the opportunity to verbalize what I was showing on my face.
What were you
Because the pastor saw it, because my face jumped, okay? But even with things like that, if you allow me to do or feel, we can come up with a better solution.
Yeah, let's
and even with that conversation, do you see how that conversation ended and we went around and it came back?
Yeah, it did.
But it's only because there was another way to look at the situation, even though I may have been out of turn.
It's okay.
Okay, thank you. I'll be back again.
Definitely.
And this is what we're talking about, even with the country and where things are going on now. And I want to say this. There's a gentleman that would call me, and I haven't heard from him in a while. I hope that he was such a kind gentleman. I think his name was Kevin. I hope his name was Kevin. I'm not great with names.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he would always call me and said, I don't know you, but I love you.
Okay.
And I hope that he's still enjoying the show as well,
Yeah.
even though the things that are coming up in the country, how it is, because that's how it is. But now, I say that to say because he and I disagree politically.
Oh, yeah. You said I love you. I already knew that.
But he's saying, okay, I may not agree with your way of doing that, but that doesn't mean that I don't love you as a person. Yeah. That does not mean that I do not respect the fact of what you're doing, because he said to me also, I learn something new from you every day.
Yeah. It's about, I've always honored and respected anyone's opinion, right? Because it's also about your perspective in life. Like, why I had this opinion when I was 18, I might have evolved and I've learned a lot more, and I might have grown a lot more, of my lifestyle has changed, and I might need different things. So at 18, I might not be concerned about taxes, and they're high, right?
Exactly.
I ain't making no money.
Exactly. Hello.
Now, as a 40-something-year-old woman, now that I'm making money, I necessarily wouldn't vote the same way or have that same opinion that I had when I was 18. And I think that people need to understand and respect that, right? But when I'm listening to your views, I want you to be rooted in truth. And if you are rooted in truth, I can respect.
Exactly.
I can respectfully disagree. But don't be rooted in lies.
Thank you. And then expect that I'm going to respect your lie.
Yeah, I don't respect the lie.
I don't either. I can't deal with a lie. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday, if they say, right here with my Kickback Friday, my sidekick right here with me. We're having a conversation that we want you to be a part of. 850-432-7768. Call or text, and we'll be back with more. I want to hear your opinion. Really do. Right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sonshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sonshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
Do you have a house that you want to turn into cash? I'm Mike with Mullet Man Buys Houses from Pensacola, Florida. Maybe you inherited a house, are facing foreclosure, have tenant issues, or the house is in general disrepair. I buy houses cash, in as-is condition, and close in as little as 3 weeks. I can provide you a competitive offer the same day I walk through your house. With Mullet Man Buys Houses, you can find the easy solution to put cash in your hand as quickly as possible.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
At Pensacola Habitat for Humanity, we believe every child should have a safe place to grow. That's why we work with you and the community to build not just a house, but a home.
She worked very hard to get this house. I really appreciate that because, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now.
When you help build a home, you build a future. Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
And welcome back to this Friday edition of Sonshine's Corner. It is open house today. I love that. That crossed my mind. I said it's open house. Yeah, look, it's just open house to talk about things that we're dealing with in the country today. And right here in Pensacola, there's one thing that I like with me, and I think anybody will know that this me. I believe in being transparent, and I'm not, when we're talking about lies, right? I will tell you the truth if it hurts your feelings. Because I'm not going to sit there. I can't sit. How can I say it? If you tell me, okay, I like that, Sonshine, I'm going to get that. You don't have to tell me that. Don't take me to the point that I got to wait to see. Mm-hmm. Do you understand where I'm going? Mm-hmm. Even if when I'm talking with people, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. If you're not, just say you're not.
But I think that sometimes people have the intention, right? Wait. I already know you. But I want to say, I do agree that I do know before you say it that as grown as we are,
right, be upfront.
Intention don't mean much anymore.
Not at all.
But I do know that people say they're gonna do something and they have an intention. They think they want to do it, right? So I was thinking the other day, Sonshine, about everything that God really wants you to do it's hard.
Well, he said when you lay down and take up the cross, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. So it requires a lot of discipline because I wondered, he gives us free will. Mm-hmm. And then it just some thoughts in my head. And then I was just wondering, why is it so hard to do the right thing? I think that's the thing I was thinking about, right? Because it's discipline, right? It takes you out of the equation and we're so self-centered. And I'm saying that to say, people might think that they want to do it, right? And when it's time to do it, it's so much harder. And a lot of people just don't have that type of resolve.
Disagree. I'm like this. I know what I'm going to do.
That's you. No, you.
No. You know what you're going to do. You know what you're going to do. So if you have the decency to know what let's say when you say you realize later, guess what?
Call and say you ain't going to.
Hi, Sonshine. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to do what I said. Okay. It's easier that way. Don't lead me to the water and tell me I can't drink.
But you have to ask yourself, I'm not saying you do this, but you have to ask yourself, what do I do that, number one?
I don't. I'll tell you if it hurts your feelings.
But I'm saying we talk about things that you say you're going to do, right? Do I do that, number one? And number two, what is it in me that makes people think that that's okay? You know what I'm saying? So I try to, if you come across it, so I was just telling somebody I got a therapist and I freaking love her. She is my new BFF. But I go to the therapist because there are some things that are showing up in every area of my life, and I'm just trying to figure out why. Because it's not nobody else's fault, it's mine, that all of these things are showing up in every area of my life.
I think everybody needs to seek that kind of help.
Yep. And so, some of that is not that I intended it, you know what I'm saying? It's just this dedicated hour. Somebody listens to me and she makes me think about my actions and why I'm doing something. Right. And so, I'm just saying that to say that a lot of stuff that we think people, I remember one time I was in my head.
When I tell you what I'm talking about, you'll understand. Okay. I know you're trying to make me feel so good, but no, I feel like it's always best to be up front.
I agree. If you can, but I just learned that
there's no if in that. I think it's always best to be up
everybody
front.
Just doesn't have the capacity.
The capacity is this. I'm so sorry I can't do it right now. Don't lead me on. I think that's wrong. But it's the fact of even the things like what affects us daily in life. I keep looking at the way that this country is going now. Even with things like of that, that's unnecessary because of the fact I feel like now, but I'm going back to the Bible now. He said that to beware after these things shall come. Now we got to be able to know now where's your faith when things like this come, when things like this do happen with the person who tell us what they're doing, but we don't believe it. Just like Maya Angelou said, when this man kept telling us what he was going to do for us, to us, but other people thought because of the fact it didn't come the way they thought. But you did not take the truth for what it was because he did not lie to you when it came to tell you what he was going to do with that. And we kept telling you the same thing.
But I also think that people picked and chose the things that they wanted.
That's
and
their
discarded the things that they didn't know affected them. You know what I'm saying? And so when somebody say DEI, people thought that meant black people.
Wrong answer. Whites are affected for it more than we are.
Or people thought that meant people of color, right?
And lesser people.
Yeah. And so they thought that I've heard so many horror stories on how somebody was picked because they was a DEI hire. That's not even legal.
That's right.
That's
well,
illegal.
He was trying to paint that picture about Vice President Harris.
But I heard so many people say, well, I got skipped over promotion because somebody was DEI. That's not legal. It's nowhere. The law does not say, hey, pick Sonshine because she's a black woman. It says give Sonshine the same opportunity
as
you would give someone else.
Exactly.
That's it, right?
That's right.
And the employer, because the federal government doesn't dictate a private business.
No, it does not. Can't.
Right? And it's just saying, but what was happening is statistically, factually, no, people of color were not being, people of color were not being even chosen, but it's because.
You said the right word, considered.
Yeah.
You cut it off.
Yeah. And so what happened was the federal government said, hey, if you're going to take tax dollars, if you're going to take the American people dollars, then make sure you consider all Americans.
Of them. Exactly.
But you see, all Americans
But you see, this is the power of words.
Yeah.
This is the power of words. People can take words, paint a picture, because the more you hear something over and over, then that's planted in your thought process. Okay, it was painted that DEI is for black people because they keep saying that.
People of color.
People of color. They keep saying that, and that's untrue.
They didn't realize the disability.
Thank you.
Which does not consider your color.
Thank you.
They didn't realize the religion.
Thank you.
Which does not consider your color.
Exactly.
They did not realize the sex of male and female.
Right.
Because it's not your color.
That's right.
And
these are things what I'm saying.
Women, non-colored women,
right,
were mostly the beneficiaries of DEI programs.
Well, say it like it is. Don't be ashamed. This is where you can talk about the things that are real, and we got to stop leaning to the things that's comfortable how we say it. I think that's what I mean by I'm so open.
But I mean, I just say that the prayer is that we become a place where we can it's just like I tell my 15-year-old daughter, stop listening to respond and listen to hear what I'm saying.
Why do you get so when you say my 15-year-old daughter?
Because I want to kill that little girl. This is her neck. You see this?
Don't kill her yet.
This is her neck.
Tell Natalie to come on to the house.
I tell her she act like her daddy.
But the fact of it is these things like that we got to be.
Stop listening to respond. Just listen to see where you coming from, right? And even if I still don't agree, I think I could understand who and where and what you're coming from.
Right. Now this is on, even though we're talking about that still, and I send out the message, well, We're working on the phone. I don't know if it's going yet, but please call.
They can text you.
You can text me at 850-432-7768. Please text me so I can be there. I can talk to you because we're having the phone line worked on.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying as far as with the part of how people are planting things to say that for DEI.
Yeah.
I believe, and what the things that are being pointed toward people of color, the things that are taken away. And I do not understand, I got to say this, why it's so important to have the records of these people put out in the public, like President Kennedy, then now Dr. King's coming up. What's so important about that? That's how many years ago? But I think that's just something to be another, to say I did it.
Distraction.
Exactly. It's
Those
not
are
important,
distractions.
right. But my point is this. Until, and I'm going to say this boldly, if you go back to the civil rights era, even though there were so many things that were going on pointed against us that was wrong, I will say this, and I will say it boldly, they worked together.
Yeah.
I will say this even for the Montgomery bus boycott. They worked together. They walked, they went in the rain, they did what they had to do.
I would say even more so they sacrificed.
This is a sacrificial thing, yes. Well, the point that I'm trying to get to make is this. We don't have that today. No, we don't. Don't sit there and hope and say we do.
I have people who work with me all the time.
You may have people, but I said everybody, because it was not just a few that did that with that.
It wasn't everybody now, Sonshine.
90% of them did, otherwise it would not have. And then what I get people to understand, even though if you go back in history and look, and I'll pull up in a history book and prove this out, that they worked together. They had a person that was a leader that God put into place to lead them for that what it's supposed to be. And when they did, but they suffered and died for that. You may have some, but it takes more, it takes all to get through this, to get the point that I'm trying to see that if we bring the country back to see, it's going to take not just a few, it's going to take all. I see this when I even look at the bridge where we're back for the 60th anniversary here just a couple of weeks ago. When I looked at the pictures there, when I saw on the video how the grounds were covered.
But I'm still saying to you that I've just been in too many rooms. Just me personally, and I guess I can't. But I've been in too many rooms, and I've been in too many places where people have placed me there, and they have worked with me. And so, and also, I just want to say that, so my experience is not so much as that people don't work with me, you know, but it is a very intentional effort for me to build relationships, and we have a trust issue. I don't think it's that we don't want to work
and
together.
to build a relationship. And look at me, now don't take this in the wrong way. When I say, yeah, you got people that's working with you here, few levels, but I want to go higher.
I agree.
I want to go higher to get that.
I agree.
Get that.
And it takes
we got to go to
person.
break.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
We got to go to break because I see him got my wire. We're coming back. We're going to talk more about this. Coming together. We are the world. Right here on Sunshine's Corner.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if auto owners make sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
There are many reasons someone may need in-home care, whether it may be respite care, them recovering from surgery, or having a chronic condition. Having someone dedicated and reliable is imperative. Supplemental Support Care Services was created to provide to those who are in need with quality care that they deserve in the home. Taking it a step further, our main goal is to ensure that Supplemental Support Care Services is where the love and care is top priority.
I'm Emily Echeverria, Marketing Communications Director for Council on Aging of West Florida and the host of Coming of Age. Watch our show to find out what we're doing for our seniors and their families and hear from area experts and local business owners about their programs and services. Want to help? Find out how you can work with us to bring a better future to our seniors. Watch Coming of Age, 3:30 p.m. Wednesdays, only on Blab TV.
Early in life, Tony found a love for craftsmanship through building furniture. Growing up in cabinet shops, he was drawn towards custom cabinetry, designing, and creating new and functional spaces. And to be able to share that passion with his clients, helping them turn their ideas into something special, making sure you get more for your investment.
Every kitchen and bath starts with your unique vision. I just bring it to life.
Master-built cabinets, beautifully handcrafted and customer designed.
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. This is Sunshine's Corner, Friday edition. I got it on my tongue, not Friday. But let me say congratulations and thank you to my girl, Supplemental Healthcare Services, Ms. Gabrielle. She is a phenomenal woman with a phenomenal business. She's a sponsor of my show, and she's got this great big event that's coming up on April 1st, where she's celebrating her 4th year, and she has transitioned even higher. My girl, I commend you on doing what you do, continue to do, and I'll let you know it's going to be at Bonefish on April 1st, and the community is invited out. Yeah. And I say, go Gabrielle. She has done great work. She's yet growing, and I just love the fact of her. I knew her father.
Oh.
And she is just great.
Yeah.
And she's doing great work with supplemental health care, and I just love her with the perfect kind of love.
Yeah,
now, it is Friday, and something is wrong, so I want to ask everybody to text me, please. I don't know if, well, I love my phone.
I was going to say, it's a big phone you got in your hand.
Yeah, hello. This is my, but look, we are having some issues with the phone, but I don't know. 850-432-7768. Maybe we need to wake it up. But you can text or call that number.
It's Friday. Well. It was Friday yesterday.
It was Friday. The phone said, I'm going to rest for the remainder of the weekend. You can't do that to me, phone. At all. It'll come in for a moment, then it'll go away. But we're talking about issues of the world today, coming together as a community. And now let's roll this thing back to coming together right here in Pensacola. And I think that even here, we got work to do.
Well, I mean, I would say that that's the thing about God. When he puts you through something. So I go back to my thought process when I was thinking about everything that God wants us to do is difficult, right? And you think about any story in the Bible, you know, it was the characters in the Bible, you know, they had to make hard choices and they had to make sacrifices and be disciplined in order to get the end result. So I've switched my focus from, I'm not so outcome focused and more process focused. So what's in this moment? What am I supposed to learn? God, how am I going to get out of this class? That's what I'd be like, I want to get out of this class, right? And not so much as being invested in how I want it to end.
Right. Well, it's never that way. When you say that you're studying now and that you are asking God, you're getting closer to God, because I would encourage everybody to develop a relationship, not to just say that you know God, but when you develop a relationship with Him, that is a total different eye-opener right there, because he says that in order to be with him, you got to lay down everything else, take up the cross and follow him. He said that if you will seek his ways, that he will give you the desires of your heart. He said if you would deny that, he will give you this. Don't make me get started. However, I'm telling you what I know for a fact. We have to take the I out of the equation when it comes to Jesus. It's all about him, because he said that I am a jealous God for what I give. Because if you do anything else, then you putting that thing as a God, then you're recognizing you can have, this can be your God if you put all that into it. But even with this today, to take God out of the equation for what's going on in the world, he said in everything acknowledge him. In everything acknowledge him. It's not about that. He said, I left you a roadmap on how to get to where I am, because this here where we are now, this is not the end. This is to determine where you're going to get and spend the end. Come on, let me say that one more time. This is not the end. This is where it's going to determine where you are going to spend the end. So is it about you? No. Can you do what thus he said? Can you do it and really walk it? Can you do it without talking the talk and not walk? If you're not walking it, don't talk to me. Because it's two different things. People want to take the word. He said, don't add anything to my word and don't take anything away. He said, because if I put it there, it will work. But you see, when you said take you out of the equation or take what we don't want in the equation, that's still you're taking away from God. Because if you do it his way.
No, I'm just saying, like, I not so much as being invested in the outcome and trusting God, and the process of what it is that's coming. So it wasn't necessarily saying I'm taking God out of that equation.
I'm saying, because if you don't, you already messed up.
No, I said taking me.
Right.
What
well,
I
when you
want
take
out of
on
that
Christ,
equation.
and it's like this, he says that when you take him, then everything on you die. You die every day to the flesh. Every day you die to the flesh. That's in the book of Romans. That's in the book of Acts. It says it's every day that you're going to die a little bit to the flesh, because the flesh is what it will try to get you to do other things. And then if you believe me, then you're going to know that my way is true. If there's no lean to say, well, I don't think he meant it that way, wrong answer. His word does not change. And that goes to the same thing that's working in this country today, because of the fact that if you don't study to show yourself approved, you can't just take it by what man say. You got to pick up that book, and I didn't say pick up and go, and don't read it. Pick up that book, read it out loud, so you can hear it. Because he said faith coming by hearing the word of God, not by, you don't hear that.
I do in my head.
In your head.
Okay, I hear it.
But no, he said coming by hearing.
I hear it.
You see, you cannot adjust it. You have to do it.
No, I every morning.
And then he says, if you find a person that will not agree with him, he said, no, walk away from that, because don't argue about my word.
You gonna walk away from me? Get out right now.
Walk away from the person who wants to argue.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to do any good.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the things now that's of the world, that's in the world, that we're living by. And the things that we've got to change if we don't know him, with the situation that's being approaching us now, that we've got to live in. My God.
So I'm going to switch it up a little bit.
Go right ahead. It's Friday.
Daylight savings has come, and I'm so enjoying the longer daylight.
I wish it would stay like this year round.
They said it's supposed to now.
They've been saying that for the last 15 years.
Are you not? You don't believe it anymore?
I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be, but I love, we're coming in the spring. I'm looking at my backyard every morning. My azaleas are blooming. Your phone ringing?
No, it's doing something. It went away. It's freaking me out.
Okay. But my azaleas are blooming. I can't wait for my gardenias. I have some gardenias planted by my bathroom window. And so when I let up the window, you can smell them. Oh my God, it's one of the best smells in the world. Because gardenias have a very good smell.
It is.
And then so my flowers are blooming. My trees are coming back. I just feel good.
We feel good, but I want us to feel good and take that look on the inside, so that we can have everybody to get that feel right now. Because with the things, even with the Medicaid, the Medicare, the retirement, everything that's been, there are some people who live by that, and that's it.
Well, but you gotta, it go back to, you gotta just trust God. He always taking care of you. Something happened, and I was like, ooh. Oh, so I was talking to my friend this morning, and I'll tell you a funny story. So where were we going? We were going somewhere, and she was like, she met this guy, and she was like, we should stop in Montgomery so I can meet him. So
wait a minute, did y'all hear that? Okay.
So we stopped. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. So we stopped in Montgomery so she can meet him, and he has this. He was an artist. And he has a community center where he has his artwork on this.
Wrong answer.
Just listen, it's nothing wrong. So we stopped, and so I just want y'all to know. So we went into and he shows us he has it's an art studio. So he has artwork all around the building that he's
in Montgomery?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know. I don't know. But so we stopped. So we go, and he gives us a tour of the building. So we tour the building, and then he takes us to this one room where he has a community room. The guy has pews as his chairs.
Please tell me his name.
I don't know his name. So he takes us in, and I'm standing by the door, and my friend, she walks with him, and he walks her around in this one little room, and it's a vault. And so this morning I was like, God know he take care of fools and babies.
Y'all going somewhere, going there, the man got a vault in there.
The man got a vault, a real vault. So our dumb selves like, oh, this is a real vault. And then I was like, wait a minute.
You see, that's why we have to be knowledgeable. Don't go in places we're not aware of. That's called for that.
You can never be aware until you go in now.
Yeah, but some things you don't take. You just turn it down.
So I just say that the reason I shared that story about our foolishness is because God takes care of us when we don't even know, when we can't even take care of ourselves, right? Because it's like, I said, thinking back, that dude looked like the dude who would lock you up in a vault.
Oh my God. You see, but that also points us that sometimes we get to a certain level, we'll do that. We won't go that route.
But I'm just saying that the moral of the story for me is that God will take care of you when you don't need to. No, you don't even know you need to be taken care of.
He takes care of the just as well as the unjust. But the fact that
fools and babies,
exactly,
was fools.
No doubt. I don't know. I hate this that the phone. Well, David is doing his very best to fix the phone. Let me say good morning to you, Valise. Thank you so very much for all of your kind words. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. She's much so a woman that listens and does not speak. But when she does, she has something to say.
Yep.
And I appreciate you for sitting and enjoying the show. Miss Bernie Scruggs, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for watching the show. I thank you for the words that you share with me. Again, I say because of the fact that with you, you're going to make this successful. You are the ones that are going to make this even more successful than it's had already become, because without you, there is no sunshine, there is no TV. There is no talk about it. And with the things that we're doing today, it's been a great week. And now that spring break is over, everybody get back into the routines, got to go back to school next week. You ready for it?
Yes and no.
Oh, you got to get up a little
Yes. So the fact that I have to take my son to school kind of is a Debbie Downer.
Right.
Hopefully his dad will come and pick him up and take him. Because he be up, I don't. I'm not an early riser.
I know.
That's why you called me like, hey, up. I was like,
But the fact of it is, it's been a great thing. But, in this time with the spring break, was not a whole lot of stuff going on. Only one big brawl that I saw out on the beach. And I'm glad of that.
That wasn't spring break, though. That was adults.
Yeah, but that was those girls that she turned herself in. Yes, she was. Read about it. They put it up last night, but then the second one came in and turned herself in.
Yeah, no, I said those were adults.
Read it.
Okay.
But it was like, okay.
Everybody should have went to jail in that situation.
I think so too, not just some of them.
Yeah, I think everybody should have went to
Well,
jail.
I would have done like that, girl. Let me stop.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I would take that charge happily if you try to hit me with a car.
You're not going to hit me with no car.
And because, I kind of got wrapped up into that just a little bit, and I had to pull myself out of it because somebody was saying, oh, you can't hold parking spaces for a person. So that means you get to hit me with a car? I'm being you, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your cheering.
What's her therapist's name? What's your therapist's name?
Call her.
See, we got to call that therapist.
Listen, I would like to call her purple. Get my shirt out of here. Because I'm going to go. And it's just like the things that people use to justify something that doesn't make any logical sense. It don't matter what color you is. Do you get to hit me with a car because I'm holding a parking space?
No, you don't.
And I'm like this. Like, if you was standing there in Sunshine or somebody was standing there and I didn't feel like it was right, I would cuss you out in my car. But I would keep it moving. I wouldn't try to pull in and hit you. I wouldn't play them games. Well, first of all, because I know that I would beat you down, I would assume the other person going to beat me down.
Do you think that there is a thing here because of the fact of how that happened, the bottom of that story? What do you think really motivated her to do that? The one that wanted to fight. Privilege, go deeper.
Deeper? Privilege.
Do you think the person in the car thought they were privileged because the other lady was standing there?
Yeah, she thought she had the privilege to park.
Okay. Do you think race had anything to do with it?
I probably. Yeah, I don't know. So you saying had that been someone of a different color,
yes,
or had that been I can't answer that one honestly.
I'm just saying
that I think that I can't. The bottom line for me is she had a privilege that she thought that she should be able to park there, and she didn't respect the person that was standing there, right? So whether that's color or whatever, there was a lack of respect for that person's life.
Do you think we have a problem with race now?
Yeah, oh, definitely. We definitely have a problem with race. Like, that's the thing. But it's like the elephant in the room in America that we don't want to talk about, right?
Why?
Because people are ashamed that they feel that way, right? And they don't even know why they feel that way, right? People haven't deep dive, why do I feel this way? And it goes back to not listening to hear someone, listening to object, right?
Do you think racism is something that's learned? Is it?
I think it is learned. You know what I'm saying?
You're not born with that.
Yeah, because as a mother, I have understood some of the thought processes that I have passed on to my children, right? So like with my 15-year-old daughter that I always want to strangle, I always want to know why she did something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I ask her, so why did you do it? I remember one time this girl said, she got into a fight at school. And I said,
Natalie.
And I said, Natalie, no, this is God honest truth, because my grandma used to say, if she asked us why we did something, I think we gave her a logical answer. We kind of just, you know. So I said, Natalie. So I said, Natalie, why you fight? Mama, the girl was picking on me. She was a bigger girl, so I think she thought that she could get me, right? She said, and the girl said, I bet you won't fight. And I was like, teacher, she messing with me. That's what Natalie said. She said, teacher, she messing with me. And then I said, okay, then what happened? And then the girl said she finna jump up. So the girl stood up. And then I said, hey, teacher, she messing with me. And she said, I said it twice, mama. So the girl came over. She said, I looked to my left, I looked to my right. It wasn't nowhere for me to go. I was in a corner, so I had to back her back. But that's logical to me.
Okay. Hold up. We're going to come back and talk about this, what's logical, right here with more on Sunshine's Corner.
Welcome to Little John's Big and Tall, where tall men and big men go for style, fit, and comfort. We offer a wide variety of styles and unique brands that service all sizes from large to 14X, as well as tall sizes from large tall to 6X tall. Our knowledgeable staff are here to make sure you have a stress-free experience and answer any of your questions. Little John's has been named Best of Pensacola and Best of the Bay for 4 years in a row. Visit Little John's at 5700 North Davis or visit us online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com.
I'm Gay Valamont and I approve this message.
Change is happening in Washington, D.C., but the politicians don't understand that prices are still too high. Gay Valamont gets it. She has a plan to reduce home insurance rates by 25% and to cap insulin costs at $35 for everyone. Jimmy Petronas, all he talks about is his life and business in Panama City. Not one idea to reduce costs for our families. Jimmy Petronas, we just can't afford him in Congress.
So much. Fostering a pet for a friend or neighbor can keep families together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Empire Truck Sales, located at 2255 West Detroit Boulevard in Pensacola, is your Freightliner, Western Star, Detroit Diesel, and Cummins dealer for Northwest Florida. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., providing sales, service, and parts. Empire Truck Sales is also your Oasis dealer for Freightliner custom chassis RV and motorhome repairs. Running I-10 will get you in.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
And welcome back to this Friday edition of Sunshine's Corner. I tell you, I can't believe that the hour is almost over, but we're having a fantastic conversation. When you're talking and you just open things up, you never know what's going to flow out. So you sit back, you relax, and just let it flow. And let me apologize for those who, I had a couple of text messages on my phone about the phones. I'm so sorry, but we will have that problem corrected so that you'll be able to be a part of the conversation. Because I invite that, because I greatly appreciate the fact that when I hear your perspective of something, that causes me to think back and give a little, that only solidifies what I say when I believe that when we put our resources, our thoughts together, we can come up with a better solution. And I think that's what the world needs today. And Keithina, thank you for getting up early, coming in with me.
Anytime, just like sunshine.
Oh, get out of here. But no, I believe when you can have a conversation, and sometimes we just need to laugh. Sometimes we just need to exhale.
Did you tell your joke on TV?
No, I can't do that.
What?
I can't do
Why
that.
you can't?
No, because
I was walking the other day and I said, Sunshine's so silly. Why you can't tell your joke?
I can't tell it, no.
Why?
There's a part in there I can't tell on TV, okay? But it was so funny. That thing had me laughing. I was crying.
But it would randomly pop up in my head. I was just like, oh my God.
It was just so funny when it first was so. I said, "Oh my God, I can do anything but cry." But you know, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot coming up. The springtime is about to hit. There's oh God, I can't wait to share with you something I'm working on. That's going to be so great for the community. It is going to be so wonderful for us coming together just to enjoy. And I truly appreciate even Keithina coming behind me. She says, "Girl, we got this. We got this. It's going to be phenomenal." Yeah. And I even shared the point about the colors on the ground. With that, but I say that to everybody because of it has been a great week. But what I want you to do, everybody, when you're out there this week and whatever you are planning on doing, sit back, inhale, exhale before you make a move.
Yeah, just think about it.
Think about what you want to do.
What's your desired outcome?
Exactly.
But also this moment, how important is this thing to this moment? You know, when I'm listening to someone, if I can tell you're not going to listen to me, you're just going to listen to me to respond. There's no need to sit there and talk to me. You're not open.
The conversation is pointless.
You're not open. So,
at all. And that's what it's going to take with us. And I do believe with everything that flows in me every single day that we as a people have got to work hard on coming together and knowing that if we trust in God and put him first, and I mean really put him first, he's going to guide us. He's brought us through this before, and he's not going to leave us now. And coming up next week, I've got a great some shows lined up for you. There's several people I'm going to be talking with. Gay, she's coming back in. We're going to talk with her. We got her coming back in. We got the Jared's coming back in because we're going to invite and encourage everybody. We're getting close to this voting. April 1st. Please.
Special election.
Special election.
We're trying to replace Matt Gates' seat.
Yes, and we need that. I think we get that back. We kind of somewhat equalize things a little bit, balance it out a little bit. But it will be a better thing but the only way that we can get change is necessary. It may not feel good, but we have to do it. Now, how we can be a part of this system, how we can be a part of the decision making, vote. When I had Robert Bender on, he told me about even with special elections and all of this, the turnout is lower. But I want you to turn up, turn out, show out, and let's speak loud. Let's speak the loudest. You want to be heard, this is how you do it. I mean, I tell people, we can hire and we can fire. But it takes us coming together to do it.
Yep.
You cannot say, well, my vote doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Does your Social Security matter? It votes everybody. And I say that you have to look at things like that.
Does your property tax matter? Does your sidewalks matter? Does your street lights matter? Does your school, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews go to matter?
Right. It all matters. And I tell you, if I don't know about this, even with the insurance on your houses, my Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Insurance on houses, insurance on cars.
It is absolutely outrageous.
Teachers' salaries.
The things that mean the most. But the one thing that we can do, we say that, oh, I can't do. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But you got to get up. You got to vote. If you're not sure that everything is in order, call down to the Supervisor of Elections Office, 850-595-3900. It takes one question. They will tell you if you're ready for this election.
Yep. I mean, you can go online also.
A lot of people like that. I mean, you know how older people are?
Well, I'm just talking about the younger people who don't want to call.
That's right.
Me. But you just go to the Florida Supervisor of Election website and you could just put in some simple information and it'll tell you if you're ready to vote.
And it's simple. It takes, when was that? The other day when Robert was in, a caller called during the process. Didn't take 2 minutes. And it was complete.
Yep.
850-595-3900. And believe me, they'll get it done for you. And make sure you go out and vote coming up on April 1st is what? Week after next?
Yeah, we're doing a bus to the Capitol.
I saw that.
Yeah, we're doing a bus to the Capitol. This bus is intentionally designed. We partnered with Equal Ground. And Equal Ground is a statewide organization that helps Black people to understand the legislative process, not to vote Democratic. Because every time people see Black people organizing, they think that we're organizing for Democrats. We're organizing for our community, right? And the things that are important to us. and we're aligning ourselves and we're working together. That's why I say I have a very good way of, working with people. And so you have the NAACP Okaloosa, the NAACP Escambia, you got Pensacola, the Panhandle organization run by Derek and Jill. You have Movement for Change that's a part of this. So this is us working together.
I gotta say something about when you said Movement for Change. Jerry McIntosh, he was so filled with information the other day. I got calls all that afternoon said the way he delivered that information.
Yeah, it is. The McIntoshes have they're great influences. I would even call them mentors for me.
Very much so.
In my organization. But I see us trying to work together. I see
1 minute.
Okay. But I was just saying that we're just trying to, just get the word out and have a voice in the Capitol. And although we might be minimalized and our efforts might be minimalized, you just got to keep showing up, Sunshine. Just
Make
show
a
up.
difference. Showing up. Ladies and gentlemen, do what you got to do and make sure that you do it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Don't say what I'm a gonna or I'm a gonna never got any further than your lips. So make a difference this time, okay? We need to do this to make a difference for everybody. Listen, the show has been fantastic this week, and I tell you, I'm so excited about some things that we're going to be sharing with you soon. Oh, it's going to be absolutely great for you, and of course, great for the community. But for me, I've got to say it's been a fantastic week. Don't forget, vote, vote, vote. Tell your friends, tell your cousin, tell your mama, tell everybody to vote. I've got to go. But I want to leave you as I do every single day. I say this, I have been using this, saying these words for the last 38 years. And I believe it in my heart. Never, ever, ever lose your focus. Do not lose your focus. If you keep focused, keep God first, this I know for a fact that you will be a total success. So until Monday morning, for another day of nothing but information and sunshine, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while we're gone. I want to say to you, Keithina, thank you for being that person that I could always just, hey, look, let's have a conversation. Let's make things happen. I appreciate that from the heart. I may not say it often enough. Sometimes you feel like you take things for granted.
Yeah.
But I think you know that on the inside of me.
Yeah, most definitely. I know you long enough to know.
You think, there you go. Gotta go, friends. I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. Have a great weekend. Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.